Welcome back, or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. This is day 14 of Flourish. And yeah, the car passed the NCT. There's just one brake light that I have to go back now in the next 30 days and show them that I have a new bulb in my brake light. And so that's always a relief, always really awesome. And thanks. It was so funny. People would text me and they go, oh, I met Mary in the supermarket yesterday morning. Oh, how did you get on the NCT? And I'm like, how do you know? And then I was like, oh, that's right. I emailed 830 people that I was going for an NCT. So great. Today, have your belt handy. We're going to flow again today. That was very nice yesterday, what we were doing. So come land on your mat and we shall do it again. Something like that. Great. Come. So arrive. Settle. And then flatten your lower back into the floor. And then pull your shoulders backwards. And see if you can also, so as soon as you flatten your lower back and pull your shoulders backwards, your mid back wants to rise up. So this is opposite to what we were doing yesterday. So then see if you can really keep the whole of your spine and then try and flatten it more and more backwards. How would you widen into the back of the body? How would you connect the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, the back of your rib cage, the back of the lower back? Nice. And then soften everything and notice the places that naturally pop off. The lower back. There's a softening in the pelvis, a softening in the shoulders. And then again, flatten into your shoulders. Creates a little bit of pressure through the back of your head, back of your rib cage, lower back. And really widen and spread the lower back on the floor. And then from this place, draw your right knee up so that it's straight up out of your hip and that your calf is parallel to the floor. And just see if you can keep that sense of your back being really steady and solid on the floor. And then stretch your right leg long, heel moves away. And then come back up again, knee straight up out of your hip. So how do you sense this connection between you and the floor as you bend your knee straight up out of your hip and then straighten your leg? I can feel a sense of connectivity up into my rib cage that I don't usually feel when I just move my leg. Whereas now I'm going, oh, I can feel the roots of my leg in my rib cage. One more time. Nice. We're going to do arm at the same time. So right arm is straight up out of the shoulder. Right knee is straight out up out of the right hip. And then drop your arm either with your elbow bent or your arm straight overhead, but imprint into the floor. Come back up to center. Lengthen. Back up to center. Lengthen. Back up to center. Nice. Try the other side. So imprinting into the floor. Have a sense of connectivity. Lift the left foot up so your knee is straight up out of your hip. And then lengthen the left leg long so it floats just above the floor. And then draw your knee up so it's straight up out of your hip. And so what you're trying to do is really keep solid and steady through your torso as you lengthen your leg and then bring your knee up. Lengthen your leg. And I can feel how my belly is connected, my ribs are connected, how there's movement through the front of my hip, the weight of my leg. Nice. Now include your arm. Left arm is up, and then reach your left arm overhead as your left leg lengthens. Come back up. Left arm lengthens. Up. Left arm lengthens. And up. Nice. So we're going to do everything together. I'm really in the plants here. So Lift both feet. So begin by stabilizing, anchoring down, and then lift both feet up and have your knees directly over your hips. So now what's happening in your spine? So for me, there's loads of activity suddenly in my rib cage. I can feel the work happening there. And I'm going to really imprint my shoulders, really connect into the spine. The weight of my legs, I can feel my torso working to keep the weight of my legs. Now, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Breathe into your belly. So you don't have to move from here. If you just stay here, there's going to be loads of work going on. So in the beginning, keep your right knee bent and just touch the right toe to the floor and come back up. And then touch your left toe to the floor and come back up. Right arm overhead. Come back up. Left arm overhead and come back up. So right leg long and straight, maybe it reaches out in that direction, whatever that feels for you. Come back up. Left leg straightening. Could be at a 45-degree angle, could be just above the floor. Find your distance. Great. So right arm, right leg lengthening. Whatever way you do that. Come back up. And then left arm, left leg lengthening. And come back up. How much of the floor can you feel behind your back? Continue lengthening the right side, whatever way you do. Lengthening the left side, whatever way you do. One more time each side, right side. Lengthening, coming back up. Left side, lengthening. Come back up. Bring your feet to the floor. Rock your knees from side to side. So interesting through the front of my ribs there. How much they stabilize the weight of my legs when my legs are in the air. And just rocking your knees from side to side. One more of those. So lift your feet in the air. Oh, hold on. Stabilize through the back of your body, head, shoulders, rib cage, lower back, really widening and spreading. Lift your feet up. Have your knees directly over your hips, calves parallel to the floor. Lift your arms up towards the ceiling. So now we're going to do opposites. So left arm, right leg. Come back up. And then right arm, left leg. And come back up. So it's opposite arm and leg. Lengthening. Come back up. Lengthening. Come back up. So this is dead bug pose. Lengthening one arm, one leg. Opposites from each other. Lengthening one arm, one leg. Opposite from each other. Nice. Squeeze your knees up onto your chest and just rock from side to side. Elbows to the floor. Roll like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis. And roll in the other direction. Nice. Stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. Roll deeply into your ankles. Just have a sense of really moving into your feet, stretching through your toes. And roll in the other direction. Rolling, connecting, moving. Nice. Point your toes, flex your feet. Point your toes, flex your feet. Point your toes, flex your feet. Nice. Bring your feet to the floor. Pause. Just let all that settle. Nice. So we're just going to do alarm clock a few times. So drop your knees to the right and then reach your left arm overhead and sweep your left foot, maybe long if you wish. So now you're long through the whole left side of your body and reach even more, like your toes are trying to touch way, 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 and your fingers are trying to touch way, way, way. And just breathe into your belly as you create length through your belly, length through your hip. Nice. And then stay here. And then just, how does that leg move? That left leg. Maybe draw a circle. Maybe swing it forward and backwards. Maybe lift it up and down. Up and down is very nice. Nice, other way. So drop your knees to the left, reach your right arm long, stretch your right leg long. I feel like you're reaching deeply into your belly, creating length. My leg feels like it's growing out of my belly. And then see what you do with your leg. Forward, backwards, up and down. Up and down. It's nice. Get on the side of that are really very wholesome. And come all the way back. Nice. So last movement on the floor. Bring your arms overhead and let them rest on the floor above your head. And then feel your head on the floor. Feel your shoulders on the floor. Imprint your ribs a little bit into the floor, widen into the lower back. Push into your feet. And now slowly slide the back of your hands along the floor to bring your elbows in the direction of your hips. So we're doing swan on the floor. My hands have lifted a little bit off the floor as I pulled my elbows down. And then reach your arms overhead. Reach really, really long so your upper arm squeezes into your ears. So you're in a deep dive position. And then pull the back of your hands along the floor so your elbows come towards your hips. My hands have floated off the floor at a certain point. And then reach long, diving into your arms. Squeeze your ears with your arms because you're reaching so long. And then again, pull your back of your hands down. Let your hands float off the floor when they do. And feel your chest. It's popped forward. Your back is arching forward. And then reach long. Pause in the dive pose. Nice. Roll all the way over and come into your cat pose. And then push all the way back into your downward dog. And just create length through your arms, through your legs. How do you connect into the power of your legs? Last week we were talking about like push into your legs from your belly. So bend one knee and then push from your bum and your leg down into that, and bum and your belly down into that leg. Bend the other knee, push. It's like imagine that you're trying to push a couch with your legs. Push. I was moving the beehives yesterday. I was tidying up the deck. And so I sat on the floor and I started to push the beehives with my feet. And so I could feel how I had to stabilize through the spine and then engage this push down into my legs. So I just feel that. How do you push down into your legs as you straighten? But I feel my belly pushing down. I feel my spine lengthening as I engage. And again, bend your knees, push down into your legs, pause. Long through your legs, long through your arms. Find connection. Maybe stretch a bit into your calves, the backs of your knees. Nice. Slowly walking forward with your feet. Pause in your forward fold. So your hands wherever they feel comfortable. Engage into your feet by have your feet alive. Kind of wiggle your toes or pull back through your heels. Lengthen into the backs of your knees. Turn your toes outwards and sit your bum down into whatever version of a squat that you do. Your heels have lifted off the floor. And then straighten into your legs. And as you straighten into your legs, Feel the difference between legs straight. Feel that sensation. And then bend your knees, sitting your bum down. How do you know that you're in a squatting position? Stretch your legs. How do you know that your legs are straightening? Bend your knees. Straighten your legs. Bend your knees. Super. Straighten your legs. Bring your elbows to your knees. Pause there. Hands to your knees. And then coming all the way up. Come to stand at the front of your mat. Super. So, front of your mat, push down into your feet, straighten your legs, squeeze your bum, push your hips forward. It's a tiny pushing of your hips. So instead of my pelvis being kind of loose, I have this sense of, oh, I'm really strong through my bum and my pelvis. Lift up through the spine, feel length, and then reach in the direction your fingers are pointing. Nice. And then reach your arms wide. Keep reaching as wide as you can as you reach up. Reach up, look up. And then bending your elbows, bending your knees, come all the way down. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins. Lift your chest and look forward. Hands to the floor. Step your right foot back. Pause. Nice. Lift your lunge. Sink your hips. Lift your lunge. Sink your hips. Lift your lunge. Sink your hips. Drop your back knee to the floor. And then rising up, reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. Bring your left hand to your hip. Rise up, look up. And then sweep your right hand to the outside of the left knee. So I'm twisting. Right arm is to the outside of my left knee. And then when you're here, instead of looking down at the floor and everything's kind of collapsing, engage into your feet. Find the strength of your pelvis by squeezing that right buttock. And then lengthen through your spine. And imagine that you're trying to look down the road while twisting. You're like, oh, how do I get taller and longer and feel the gesture of lengthening to see further? And breathing into your belly. You can wrap that left hand around the back of your body if you wish, or bring your hand to the back of your lower back, or wherever feels comfortable. Lengthen by trying to see further with your face, with your eyes. Nice. Both hands to the floor. Lengthen your back leg. Step forward. Slowly rolling up. Oh, reach your arms wide. Bring your palms together. Palms come to rest in front of your chest. Super. Reach your arms wide. Palms come together. Push down into your feet. Squeeze your bum. Reach through your spine. And then bending your elbows, bending your knees all the way down. Hands to the floor. Forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins. Lift your chest and look forward. Hands to the floor. Step the left foot back. Pause. Nice. Lift your lunge. Sink your hips. Lift your lunge. Sink your hips. Lift your lunge. Sink your hips. One more time. Lift your lunge. Sink your hips. Nice. Drop your back knee to the floor. Bring your right hand to your right thigh, rising up. And then reach your left hand up towards the ceiling, reaching really tall. Bring your right hand to your hip, actually. And then sweep your left arm down so that your arm is to the outside of the right knee. And so push into your feet, engage your legs, squeeze that left buttock, and push your hips a little bit forward, and then lengthen through your spine and try and look as far down the road as you can. Opening your chest, rising through the collarbones, the front of your throat. Breathe. Nice. Both hands to the floor, lengthen your back leg. Step both feet back, bring both knees down. Come sit on the floor, stretch your legs out long in front of you. And just find your bum on the floor. And then bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. Pause with your knees wide, holding onto your ankles, sit up tall. Nice. And then spiral your right knee in into zigzag. Spiral your right knee out. Spiral your left knee into zigzag. Spiral your left knee out. Nice. Stretch your right leg wide. And bring it back. Stretch your left leg wide. Bring it back. Nice. Lean back, lift both feet in the air. Spiral your knees towards the left into zigzag. Lean back, both feet in the air. Spiral your knees towards the right into zigzag. Feet in the air, come back. Hold on to your ankles, sit up really tall. And just find that sense of, reaching through this area, the collarbones, the front of your throat, lengthening through your spine. Really feel I am rising. I am lengthening. There is space. Nice. So come lie on the floor. Stay on the floor just for a few moments while I close down the studio. Just pause, resting there. Breathing into your belly. Have a sense of this moment in your body. How lovely. So I will be here again tomorrow, as always. Tomorrow, 4 years ago, I broke my leg. I was thinking about it yesterday. What an incredible journey of learning that the principles that I was teaching actually really could stand when literally, that they, do no harm, listen to your body, move in wellness, that all of that could apply even with a broken leg, that you could still do yoga. I could still teach yoga with a broken leg, living by the principles that I was saying. So I'll see you all tomorrow, and thanks for joining me.